All right.
What's
New
up?
episode.
We
New
here.
episode. We here.
We here. Asian Soul Food. Asian Soul Food. How you doing, Mike?
Well, it's a
Look fresh. What's that?
Freaking
Crocodile Dundee
one-
t-shirt? What is that? Lacoste?
is that how you say it?
Lacoste shirt?
Back in China, you know, this is facing this way, and we had a lot of knockoffs, and then the crocodile facing this way.
Oh, so it's butt out, and then the Americans butt in?
Yeah.
That sounds
exactly.
like a good... Yeah, Americans, we butt in everything, so that makes sense. That's for how was your week, man?
I would do awesome. How awesome, actually. You know, I took another.
You look like you awesome. You got the collar open. You know what I'm
Is that what
saying?
it
Like,
is?
you know, Mike got the Tiger Woods going on outside the sex scandals.
It's talking
What
shit
happened
right
this
off the
week?
bat.
What happened this week, man? What you got going on?
Got another good listing coming up on the market. Actually, it is on the market right now.
Yeah?
Yes.
we gonna put it up here.
Yeah.
You got a picture for us? Or what we got?
Yes.
What we got?
We got this. Well, take a look yourself. Needless to say, you know, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, and about 2,600 square feet in Beverly Hills, in the heart of Beverly Hills.
In the heart of Beverly Hills.
Exactly. And you got a huge lot. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. In Beverly Hills, you do not get these type of
Is that
lots. You get
mahogany steps?
yeah. You have a pool.
Okay.
You have a big yard, a lot of privacy,
How many
no
bedrooms?
neighbor. 4
I see
bedrooms.
4 bedrooms. That's nice,
bedroom,
Mike.
Yeah, 4.5 bath.
What's the price?
2.75. 2 million.
Oh, that's real nice for somebody else, not
It
me.
is. It is very.
2.7.
2.7, 2.75 right now.
Okay.
And yeah, in this market, very fairly priced, and then we're getting traffic. So, well, I don't know when people hear this podcast, you know, is it still gonna be on or no? But yeah, it is great.
You never know. That's why they gotta hit you up. Don't put
Yeah.
no numbers up here, Mike. Do not start doing no infomercials.
Yes.
Call 1-886 Michael U. No, we're not doing that. But no, that house
this
is
is
dope. I can't wait to buy my first house. That shit was built in 1974.
They tear the entire thing down to the stud and rebuild the entire thing. Essentially.
Wow.
So it is, they spend so much money on this, and then the guy is barely breaking even, but you know, because he wants to, you know, tax reason, different things. He wants to sell
So
this.
when I mean, obviously, because COVID, are you going to do like a open house? You know, can people come to an open house there? I'll come over as long as you got some good food, motherfucker. And some
We're not
drinks.
doing any open house right now.
Why?
Unfortunately.
How you gonna do the
because
house?
you know, it's no more open house allowed right now. So it's very unfortunate.
Who's regulating that? Because
we
Newsom said last week, business as usual.
Well,
So bring your mask.
I really want that to happen, though. You know,
What is your
not
open house
normal.
setup? Like how you set your open houses up?
Usually we will have like a small party gathering. We will call all the neighbors, right?
Okay.
We'll bring some fruit. We will bring some stuff over there. And what we'll also do sometimes we will do it for a good cause. You know, we say, hey, you know what? Local school needs some supplies. You know, if you do have some supply, drop by. You know, come take a look.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
So it's like you know stuff you can give back.
Yeah.
Make people show up.
Exactly.
You know, if it's like that's actually kind of smart. It's like, you know, hey, come, we giving out free school supplies, but then when they show up, like, oh, this house is actually for sale. Yeah,
it is for sale. Yeah, exactly. So that's how we do some of the open house like that. How's your week, brother?
I mean, my week is trial and tribulations. You know, but it's good. We good. You know, we trying to get a new building, new office. You know, everybody moving into their new office come June. First, it was like August. You know, and everyone's moving up Sony and Amazon, and you know, I think we're gonna probably be like the masses where you can either come to office or don't come to the office. But you know, I miss being inside the office. I just feel a little more creative, and I also like to be able to go from work to home. You know, like work to home.
You need that commute. I do think I work from home. You know, I feel like I'm a pretty productive person, but working from home versus working in office,
you can't turn
different.
off.
It's
very
very different. I'd rather drive like, you know, some time.
It's funny
because
I moved to a new place.
Yeah.
And one of my mentors, shout out Carl Bress. You know, he's like, don't make your house so functional. Like, you know, when it's your home, you want to make it to the point where you're comfortable and you have people to come over, they feel comfortable. And I started thinking about that because it was like, okay, I got to get a desk. I got this one corner in my place that I can like put a nice little rug and a desk and make it kind of like worky. And I was like, I don't really want a work desk in my place. I want it to be earthy and relaxed and sexy. And also when you come over, I don't want to have to feel like if I see a work desk, I'm at work, or I wanted to feel like I'm actually home.
Yeah.
So, so for us, it's like, you know, being able closing our office soon, and being able to just move forward and, you know, be able to have clients come visit you and friends and have lunches. And so I'm super excited about that. But outside of my week's it's been good. You know, it's been good. It's every day, every week is a new adventure. There's never something that is the same, you know? So it's always something that we gotta.
You're listening to some music recently?
Oh, what's playing rent free in my head this week? Oh man. I like Nick Jonas. I wasn't a big fan of the
Nick Jonas.
Yeah, I like Nick Jonas, the Jonas Brothers. I wasn't a big fan of Jonas Brothers when they came out. I was just like, who the fuck are these dudes from Jersey? But Nick Jonas album, the new one, I like Dangerous.
Is that a Dangerous?
No, Deeper Love, actually. I like Dangerous and Deeper Love. His whole album is, you know, 80s vibes mixed with R&B with a little pop. It's just it's a cool vibe.
It is a cool vibe. Yeah, you actually got me on that. I was listening to the entire album and I do feel like it is cool vibe, but one complaint I have is that there's so much 80s resurgence. I love 80s music, don't get me wrong though. It's just so many
80s
people.
songs you know, Mike? You born in 94.
Well, I mean, I listen to 80s. It was those disco songs. There's disco.
Oh, what a camera. Disclaimer, you know.
What?
80s is not disco. That's 70s.
You don't have no disco songs
in the 80s? No.
What about the Weeknd, the Dua Lipa,
or what?
Kind of goes both ways. Late 70s, early 80s.
Come
disco? What's a disco song in the 80s?
It is disco era. It is.
Teach me, Mike.
The Saturday Night Live thing.
That's not 80s.
That's
70s.
It is.
Staying Alive. That's not 80s. 80s is like Madonna, Janet Jackson. That's like 80s.
Some of them, well, disco is
right,
1970s.
You might be right.
Bitch. I know what I'm talking about.
All right.
Disrespecting me.
Yeah, how do you say it?
Like 80 music was Madonna, Cherish the Love. Like Madonna was 80s down. Then you had Gloria Estefan. Then you had Jan Jackson. What have you done for me lately? Give me a beat. That's all.
That was
80. Oh God, 80s with great music, man.
Yeah,
great music, and the tone of the keyboards and the electric guitar, electric keyboards, like it was just a really nostalgic moment for me when I hear it, and I love it when I hear it in the music of today.
Yeah,
because you know people that are millennials or older. It to me is a resurgence of nostalgia, and you get this feeling of whatever maybe happened in the 80s. I'm speaking on my behalf. It just gives you a really good feeling of growing up in the 80s. Like for me, I was in Philly, you know, and
that's
Rita's
why
Water Ice
so many people are doing that right now. That's why because it's doing well. It is a good vibe. I like.
It's funny that people that's Jordan wasn't even born in the 80s. Nick Jones wasn't born in the 80s.
No, not yeah.
You know, but I think it's paying homage to the 80s.
Yeah, just
like the song we talked about last episode. With Bruno Mars, that 80-ish.
That's more like 70s.
No, oh my God, Mike, you're
Motown.
No, that song is more like 90s vibe. That's a 90s vibe R&B song.
That is a Temptation song.
Oh, we can't play. Can we play 3 seconds of the song?
That's a Temptation song. That's the same as like.
No, but I'm saying the vibe.
Too proud to bed, sweet darling.
No, the newest song he got.
Yeah,
I'ma leave the door open. That's like old school 90s. I'ma leave the door open.
I think you're both right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think it's 90s R&B with a little bit of Motown soul.
Yeah, so it's a good mix. It's an Asian future, Asian soul food.
Fair enough, yeah. What I'm saying is that there's just a lot of 80s resurgence this year. Yeah. Would you agree or disagree?
I agree with that. Yeah. I agree there's a lot of 80s mix. But yeah, I mean, music is a thing of transitional periods.
Yeah.
And sometimes you gotta put a little old in the new.
Yeah.
You know, if you listen to a lot of the rap music that's out, they sample tracks from 70s and 80s and 90s and you know, and they just kind of remake it, no different from someone you know, remaking a track to now. You know, how many times we gonna hear a variation of the Happy Birthday song?
Yeah. What do you think Nick Jonas' album is gonna do super well, or his single like that?
I think his single's gonna do well. I think hopefully Nick, shout out Nick. You know, if you listen to this, when you listen to this,
hope you do well.
Not even that. I mean, I think Dangerous Love or Deeper Love should be your next single. I think that should be your next single, man. I'm coming from an old Radiohead myself, working in music. It's just Spaceman is the name of the album. Spaceman's song. It's a good song on the album. It's very like it gives me like I should be in the woods. and shit. You know what I mean?
Not a single.
No, it's a single, but I think it's not a start single. I think it's more like like I would bring it out as a mid-tempo. Later, when you kind of have your deeper love, you like draw the audience. I want to know what deep love. Like it's just it's a bop. And then you come out with Spaceman, like, you know. But I think most of the songs on his album, because some albums you kind of just like you click past the songs.
Yeah, because they're not.
I don't really click past the songs on his album. Like it's some albums I'd be like, this shit is terrible.
Well, how would you rate his new album?
9. I get 10. 10. I give it 10.
Give it 10. But yeah.
No, I like it. No, I like Nick Jonas, and it's funny because he's not going to be on America, The Voice. He's taking time to tour.
Ariana Grande is going to be on.
She replaced him.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be funny here. Her airy voice. I really like the way you did that voice. Ariana Grande. You know.
Oh, she's gonna do.
I love Ariana though. Ariana, it's funny because people love and hate her. I worked at Nickelodeon.
People hate her. Yeah, I don't know.
Like my mom saying, not everybody gonna like you, Mike. Not everybody gonna like you, Sean.
I know, but I'm saying that most people they like Ariana Grande. If you ask me, Lil Nas X, you know, people like him. People, I would say 50-50, maybe, right? But if you ask Ariana Grande, I would say 90% of the people like Ariana.
Man, I don't know, man.
Really?
I'm in the other percent. Really? I'm in the 100%. I like Ariana. She has a good songwriter who we both like.
Yeah. Victoria Monet.
Victoria Monet. Oh, she write what's that? Supersonic whatever that.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
Supersonic.
Shout out Victoria, man. I love Victoria, man. But she songwrites a lot for Ariana. So no, I think she will be good on her voice. It's gonna be interesting. You know, I will, you know, because she can sing, and I want to see her dynamic between her and Kelly Clarkson, who I love. I love Kelly Clarkson. I just like Kelly Clarkson's personality too.
Yeah,
she's so dope,
so real.
And like you can tell, like I think when someone comes, like last time I watched someone came on The Voice and they were singing like "Oh Usher," and like you know how when the chairs are still turned, and all you see is like Kelly. She's just like yes. You know what I mean? Like it's. I like. She loves. You can tell she loves all music.
She has like a big personality.
Yeah. And like when you think of like what's the country guy on there? What's his name?
Blake Shelton.
I like Blake, but you can tell Blake is country. You know, he'll listen to like
Blake is country.
He's country,
real country. Yeah.
But you know, country music you can turn any song into a country song. Come on, you can turn any song. I want to know what love is. Right?
I don't know.
Come on, give me another song. You can turn any country song. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I hear my top racing in the streets. Oh yeah, that's I got a pretty little thing that's waiting for me. You can turn any country song,
any song
to a country song. What's another one? Do a rock song. What's a rock song? Give me something.
One of 3 Doors Down.
I love rock and roll.
Oh wait, give me 3 Doors Down song. What's what's that?
Kryptonite.
You cannot turn
Kryptonite.
No, you cannot
Kryptonite, baby. Yeah, like you can
turn Whole Lot of Love into country.
Come and take me higher.
Turn Whole Lot of Love into country.
White people hate Creed.
No,
I'm not saying that.
Bro, you cannot.
White people do not like Creed, bro. They're like, you like fucking Creed. Oh God.
Give us a bad name, bro.
Yeah, black people love Creed. You take me high. Cause we talked in my church and shit. White people like that's not rock. You know, Teen Spirit, country song.
Teen Spirit.
What's
Do you listen to country a lot?
Huh?
You listen to a lot of country songs?
I went to a school in Virginia called Fort Union Military Academy. It was in this place called Fort Union, Virginia. And it was a military school. We had no phone service. We had jack shit. We had to make phone calls on a payphone. And this is when you still had to use a phone card. And so we had no radio stations. So the only radio stations we had was a country song, like was country music. So that actually turned me on to actually really taking time to listen to country music. I fell in love with like Brooks and Dunn, Reba McEntire, Garth Brooks. I like Blake Shelton. So I fell in love with a lot of with the Brooks and Dunns, like Bon Maria. I don't know if we're going to get cut off for me singing these songs. Is it Mechanical License or whatever? Okay. Like Bon Maria. So it was a lot of country songs. I was like, oh, okay, this is dope. Do you like country music?
No, not really. That's why we. I don't listen to. Well, yeah, no, it is not too much country music. You listen to a lot of country.
Yeah, I listen to like I'd be like Alexa, play you know,
Blake
country
Shelton.
pop, and they be like playing country pop, and then it's weird when you hear like, I mean, look at what's the girl? She was country, now she's more pop though. What's her name?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. She came out.
What's
you know,
her name?
right? Sorry, Taylor. Taylor Swift.
What's her name? But
her
yeah,
name?
no. Taylor was real country before, right?
Mm-hmm.
With a love story, we belong together. What was that? What is it?
Yeah.
You belong with me. Right?
Yeah.
We belong together in Mariah. Yeah, but yeah,
You could turn that too. We belong together.
I love that.
With a just twang and everything.
Yeah, we belong
some
together.
Oh my.
That's country music. It's like that's like every foreign person I meet when they want to talk American, they make it sound like that. I'm American. I'm like, especially like all the people that come from Britain and London, when they try to do an American accent, it's
They're
always like we
always
country, Southern.
Yeah.
Hey y'all. I'm like, who talks like that? I don't talk like that. What type of gone to win shit is that shit? Hey y'all, I'm from Texas. No, we don't talk like that. No, but I like country music. Country music and rap almost. Is one
They're
the same.
dominating the entire thing right now. I think it's
Yes.
either rap or country music,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you got Lil Nas X.
But country music is yeah. I mean, country music is to me is rap, and then it's just a different way. If you look at
It's the instrumentation, you know,
Yeah.
what you put the country music, the most important thing is the guitar, you know, the drum. It's very pure, you know, no electronic and all that stuff. The bass is real, like kick drum, you know.
it's
and all
very
that
different
stuff.
from old
Very-
country. I like old country though.
Country road,
Yes,
take me home,
take me home
to the place,
place
I belong.
Go ahead, Mike.
But bro,
Chinese,
yeah,
you know, they
but
like
it's
the
a-
karaoke.
But I don't even. Yeah, that's probably the only country song I know. But well, I know.
Mike, you should open
more.
up a karaoke bar, yo.
Yeah,
We should do that.
we should.
Called
yeah.
Michael Hughes Karaoke.
But
But
yeah,
but you got to record all the songs. Like you know how I go to the book. You gotta do the song.
That is stupid.
Sitting in my room, I must confess, I'm a man. I just put Mike on a brandy though. You like sitting in my room, right? Boom, that
Yeah.
fucking bass hit. Yeah, oh, you know, music is great. Yeah,
It is
we
great.
can talk music.
How'd
all
you like
day.
the new Lil Nas X song? Because that song is playing in my head rent free.
Oh, that shit rent free this week. What
It is
the,
just super catchy. It's
Call
called,
Me Your Name.
it's called Montero.
Call Me by Your Name. So what does that mean? Is it more like if you having
I think
some
there is
situation and like call me like daddy?
I think there's some reference to that. Some reference to that shit. You know,
Tell me what you want. Can we put the lyrics up here
Tell
again?
me what you want.
Tell me what you
where
need. Let's go. Let's do a lyric analysis here, guys.
Yeah, it's
So we're
because that song, I gotta say, it is very catchy. But more on top of that, their marketing campaign is fucking awesome.
okay.
I gotta
so
say this. Yeah.
what it says, I caught it bad just today. You hit me with a call to your place. Okay, so that's like
Yeah.
okay. So he's calling you to the,
hoping romantic talking. You don't even have you cute enough to fuck with me tonight. Look at the table. All I see is weed and wine. Okay.
oh this is fuck session.
Yeah, I mean, this
Okay,
is
okay.
all right.
This is
Weed
like we're
and
going
wine.
here and we
Baby,
about to
you're
pop it
living the
off.
life.
Oh,
I
it said
cannot say the
cocaine. It
word.
said cocaine and drinking with your friends.
With your friends.
You live in the dark. Boy, I cannot pretend
I'm
I'm
not faced
only to hear just
to sin.
what is what?
If
is
Eve
there-
ain't in your garden, you know that.
Okay,
you
let's just
can't-
dissect the
call me
lyrics
what
and the
you want,
writing.
call
Is
me
this
what
good
you
writing?
need. I know. I think it's shitty writing. I gotta say this is
Lyrically.
no, it's shitty writing.
Call me what just
I think-
call me when you want. Call me when you need. Call me in the morning. I'll be on the way. Okay, this is like I like the song. I do like the song though. I do like the song, but
The lyrics.
we should make a segment called dissecting lyrics.
do
but-
you
or-
like the lyrics? Is it slap or is it whack?
Now we can't talk about that. That's fucking segment, but it's whack.
It's whack.
It's whack. I think the song, the beat. I like the beat and like his tone and voice. Like so, it's
Very-
like call me when you want, call me when you
Very
need. But when
deep.
you read the lyrics now out loud, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, that's for most music, brother. That's for most music right
I
now.
mean,
You
but
read
I'm
the
just
lyrics
sa-
and they're all like, you know, kind of like.
I'm just
this.
saying, like if you
And that's what I don't like.
I think
Some of
if-
the new trap music.
if you're
bro.
talking from a standpoint, like just say like it's almost like if you talk like in the alphabet community, it's like not every person in that community is what people in the heterosexual community think, oh, they just sleep around, they just have sex and party. Not everyone's like that. So for this song, as a representation, no, he's gay. He's a gay rapper.
But I'm saying that the lyrics doesn't need to be the gay or straight. That doesn't
it's just,
matter.
No,
it's about a fuck session.
Remember,
that's what it is.
It is, but he's representing a particular group as well. Heavy. So when you have this, I like the song. I'm just saying, when you read the lyrics, it's like, call me what you want. Like, I get it. Listen, I just think the lyrics are kind of corny. So, but I'm just saying, it's like
lyrics that much.
People don't care. That's what I'm saying. Let's pull up the lyrics because people don't. They want about the beat. They want about the pre-chorus. They want to know what the It's
all about that little segment. Is that Instagram worthy? Can you remember it? Yeah. And I think this song is.
I like Lil Nas though.
Yeah,
I like Lil Nas. I'm not hating at all.
You're not hating at all.
No, I like Lil Nas.
What do you think of his demon shoes, the Satan shoes? We have the picture right here. We have they say here. All right, just a background. They say they contain real human blood in the soul.
But come on, Mike. You believe in snake oil?
Well, what
kind of snake oil sells? Ain't no real human blood in that shit.
You think so?
No.
It's possible.
That shit food coloring.
Bro. Well, I mean, it is most likely snake, 99%. But I'm saying it's not difficult for him to put a drop of human blood in the entire thing.
How many? First of all, how many? Do we know how many cells they had?
They had about 1,000. 666 pairs. I think that's what it is.
And how much were they selling for?
Over 1,000 retail.
Hey, how much they made? What's the math on that?
Retail, like about 600,000. Say 600,000.
So you think they got over all this mass production? They got real. Where they get the real human blood from?
I'll tell you what. I mean, if I were to do this, there's mostly full coloring, right? And then I will put one blood of human blood into the entire pond, and then put them into shoes, and then you can market it as it contains real human blood. It's like,
you know what I would do?
You know what I'm saying?
I'll put pig's blood in that shit. You want to make a real devil? Pig's blood, not human blood. You want to really play on this marketing of selling devil shit? I put pig's blood.
Well, first of all, do you think he believes in Satan?
No, this is marketing. This is his song. It's based off of wasn't that a movie or something? Call Me by Your Name or something?
Yeah, something like that. It's a reference.
So it's based off of a movie, So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
$1,000 a pair.
Wow.
So
he made some money.
Well, money or not, I think it's they don't care about that. It's mostly on the marketing. I mean, I didn't like it.
Well,
too
Nike
much.
cared about it because they recalled all those goddamn shoes. It was unauthorized, and they recalled. And now Mischief, who was the creator of the shoe, got sued. But they came to an agreement to do a buyback program, whatever that means. In layman terms, to me, just being the businessman that I am, that's like Mr. Wonderful. That's Mr. Wonderful from
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. Yeah. It's a royalty fee.
That's a royalty. Yeah, that's exactly.
Whatever the percentage is, it's a royalty fee. Which I think if they would have was smart, and I don't blame this on Lil Nas. It's more so on the company Mischief. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Where if they partner with Lil Nas to do a shoe like this. A smart person would say, you know what? It's Lil Nas X. Let's go to Nike. Let's have a conversation with Nike about what we want to do, the marketing plans for it, and then say, hey, we got either partner or you are clearing this and we're going to give you a little back end fee. I guarantee you Nike wouldn't have said, shit, I don't care how much devil stuff.
Disagree. I don't think.
Listen, it's a company. It's a conglomerate.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. Nike, they represent too many people. If you got associated with Satanism too much, it may not be true.
But what does Satanism have anything to do with? That's a frame of religion. That's a frame whatever. That don't have anything to do with someone buying shoes.
That's why Nike sued them. That's why Nike sued them
because they was getting bad press and they ain't like it. And also Nike they wasn't making any money off of it. Nike make money off that shoe?
No, Nike does not want to be associated with the Satanism and all that stuff.
I don't believe that. They ain't want to be associated with blacks either, but hey, hello, Michael Jordan.
Well, I will say this to you, bro. They know when Lil Nas X, when they release these shoes, okay, they know that Nike at some point is going to sue them. And then it's all planned. It's part of the press. It's part of the marketing. When somebody sues somebody, there's more press. Good press, bad press, and then that takes it. Yeah, all press is good press, right? Mm-hmm. So that takes it to the next level. So just from a marketing point of view, I think it's genius marketing, and I also think it's a little bit of a sell-off.
I mean, I honestly think Nike wasn't a part of the plan in the get-go. Mm-hmm. They should have planned it, whether it's the label or Mischief or whoever should have planned it with some Nike covering exec and said, this is what we're looking to do. We'll give you, we'll split the proceeds 50-50. Nike would have not said shit. They wouldn't have said nothing.
Possible. Yeah.
Because people start coming out saying,
but if they
why would Nike approve this? Why would Nike approve this? And then of course Nike's like, well, we didn't approve it.
Well,
so it's like, so they gotta come out and say something. Huh?
If the shoe didn't get approved,
I could take a Nike pair of shoes now and create my own and sell it. They're not gonna say anything because I brought this.
I think that's what they did.
Yeah,
is they bought the 97 Air Maxes and then just like decorated them.
That's what they do.
People do that all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
And to Michael's point, it looks like Lil Nas did like an apology video, got a bunch of million views, and 2 seconds in, it just cuts to his music video.
Yeah,
no,
so
that's a marketing. What I'm saying to you is that if they would approach Nike and do a regular official release, then the marketing, the cloud is not going to be as much as today. Mm-hmm. I think they planned it to be kind of forbidden.
Do you think Nike has something to do with it?
I don't think they need to talk to Nike. If I were,
no, I'm saying, but do you think Nike? This whole thing is part. They getting back in now.
Yeah, getting some
because it's called a buyback program. What kind of PR stunt is that? Oh, buyback program, so they can buy back their shoes. Yeah,
Nike is great at that.
Nike is a conglomerate. That's a business at the end of the day. It's about making money and keeping the lights on. Yeah, at the end of the day, they probably won't do anything that's racist or that's going to be a disrespect to any sexuality or cultures or whatever. But when it comes to a shoe, you really can't. I mean, you can regulate your shoe, but you can't regulate people. But you got people out here who are devil worshippers. You got Catholics. You got all, that's the world we live in.
True.
So, you know what I mean? So I think you can't.
It's just if Nike does an official drop, I also don't think it's beneficial for Nike. Nike does not want to do an official drop for these type. All the Nike shoes that they drop is all for good cause. Helping Children's Hospital and some of them, not some of them. Some of them.
It's about LeBron. It's about Jordan. It's about Serena Williams.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Sure.
Yeah, they're gonna. This may sound shady, but yeah, they're gonna drop stuff for nonprofit because they need tax write-offs.
But yeah, I also think there's a.
But they also obviously it's good cause too. So Nike, I was just playing. But now that could be talking about these brands. What do you think about the NCAA players fighting for the percentage of sales for merch? So like when you think about March Madness, and everything that's going on.
I think March Madness, NCAA, they make so much money. And
I hate the NCAA.
Yeah, and I do think,
and I was a part of it for years as a student athlete.
They should make some money. I think you guys are making so much money off of us.
All for names, jerseys, merch, and they talking about. And the thing when I played college football, if you're on a full-ride scholarship, you get whatever monies they allotted to you, and then you get like a refund, which is what's left over after your monies was paid for the semester. So they may be $2,700, $2,500 that goes into your pocket. Some people still get it if they get grants and stuff. And so that was pretty much the only monies that an athlete received. Yeah. Outside that, you're traveling. You're trying to, you're traveling so many different places. You really don't make much money. You come from a low income family. Majority of the players.
Of them,
and then, if you're a top player at a college, the Division I level at least, let's talk about that. They got your jersey. They got video game. Like, when I played in NCAA, I think 2014, I got a envelope. And we whoever it was band together as college athletes and they sued EA Sports.
Oh, wow.
Because they used our likenesses on NCAA football, which is one of my favorite games. Yeah. And so, of course, as college football players, we don't think like that because we went and we played ourselves and we got the, and then it was like, it got to a point where it's like they made so much money off that game and everyone from D1 all the way to D3, even they had NAIA on that game where they used our likenesses. It may not have been our name, but it's our jersey number, and it had the years we played. So I got a letter saying, if you played between this year and this year as a D1 athlete, please sign this petition. We're suing EA. And I signed that shit. And
immediately.
And it based on what your level was. Obviously, if you was on a cover of NCAA football, the game, you got more money. I got about $2,700 in the mail.
Wow! Just by signing that stuff.
Yeah, because I was part of the game. I mean, it's cool because the cool thing about a college player, I remember growing up, kids would be like, "Oh my God, are you an NCAA?" And they would go play you. So that was fun. But to the point where they was taking out likenesses and colleges, and we couldn't make a dime off of that.
Let me ask you this question: Who are those people who are monetizing off of these players? Is that a
NCAA? They consider themselves. They consider themselves nine. So the colleges, how college works in the sports is that they sell and license their sports to an ABC or CBS or NBC. So NBC may say, okay, we want to cover college sports. We want to cover USC games. USC say, okay, we're going for $450,000 if you want to host our games. CBS may come in, okay, we want to host SEC. For SEC, they're going to pay a licensing fee to SEC for, $5 million. So that's how they make their money. And then the NCAA are regulating us as players, whether it's education, SAT scores, how these students can get admitted, why they can't take money. But then when it comes to the merch, when it comes to the licensing deal for the games, they get a percentage of that. So if it's $450 million, I don't know what the percentage of the NCAA get, but it's going to the NCAA. It's going, when it comes to jersey, a portion of that. When you see NCAA, they make a money. And then it's like, so for players,
NCAA makes the most amount of money.
Yes, and for players, they tell you.
The student players, they don't.
I remember when I was in college playing football, I had a guy who I played with who, he was transitioning to be an actor, and he couldn't do it because it was like, unless the monies that you're making is going towards your books or anything that has to do with your education, you cannot take any form of money.
I think that's
and it's ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous.
Think they're getting monetized so hard. They're making, so you guys are making money off of you guys, right? I mean, how come you don't get no share? At least get a cut.
Every player at a D1 level that has a name on a jersey that you're using, it should at least be, I don't care if it's 0.01%.
Tuition, pay for your tuition. At least you live a slightly better life because you put in the work. And the funny thing is,
when you play at a collegiate level, whether it's basketball, football, whatever, it's a job.
And
it's literally a job. You get your education paid for. Your paycheck is for you to go to school, but then how you put to live outside of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's you can't really take a second job as a student athlete because you're on the road 24/7. You practicing 24/7, and when you're not practicing, you gotta make sure you keep your grades up.
Well, by the way, with that said, do you think college is necessary nowadays, though? Like with higher education,
Ooh, that's a good question, Mike. I mean, it's funny because as we move along, centuries and decades, and we evolve as people, it's a hard thing when you talk about, because to me, most people that don't want to go to college say, I don't need a college education to do X, Y, Z. And I always tell people, to me, college isn't a place you go to get book smart. It's a place that you learn how to hone your interpersonal communications, your relationships. There's some things that you can learn in college that you're not going to learn on the street that you need to be smart about. And there's also some things that you're going to learn just based off of experience. So for me, I believe college is great for certain things. You want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you should be going to college for those. You want to be an accountant, you should go to college. You want to be even if you want to be a producer, you should know how to. You're going to learn by experience, but you should know the basic necessities of how what they call it, a motherboard works. How mics work. Like C-Dub's our engineer. He gotta go to school for that, or he can learn. He gonna learn as he go. But you gotta have an education background for that. So I think college is, to me, I went to college. I went to undergrad and grad school. Is very much important to have, and it's also. College for me is about really learning how to work with other people. Live with other people.
I mean, I pretty much agree on your position. I think mostly it's not about the book knowledge. It's mostly about what you do. Besides you go to class. Your the clubs that you go to, the people that you talk to, the community that you belong to, and then the friendship that you develop. I think that's the purpose for college. I mean, essentially, I went to UCLA. I feel like it's a pretty good school overall. But it's a good school.
I wish I went there. I looked at there for football, and my mom was like, "That's too far."
I got you. But I came from very far country. I came here, and then mostly at the beginning, I thought, it's mostly for the book knowledge, and I realized it's really not. I would say it's 10%. Is the book knowledge. The rest is how you.
I mean,
the communication, I don't know how much and all that stuff.
I would say it's 60-40 or maybe 80-20 of what you apply to real life versus,
and by the way, I don't know,
experience in the workplace.
I didn't, for what I do right now, I'm selling real estate. I'm doing different things. But I don't think I learned much from college, to be quite frank with you. There's some. All right,
I learned how to do PowerPoint from college. I love.
That's all. I mean, I think the biggest skill that I learned from college, I don't know about you, but for me, is learning how to learn. It's just the learning. You have to cram in so much knowledge. I didn't study. I always before finals, and then I would spend like a week and cram in all the knowledge in that 1 week, and then try to pass a test. That's
It's very Chinese of you.
Yeah, very. That's what I do, and I'm okay, and I'm doing okay. I usually pass the test and shit. But that taught me learning how to learn. Then I'm a much fast learner. Yeah. For other skill, it just translate a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think like for my field, like even just communications, I think you got to learn how a camera works. You got to learn how your markings work. How to produce a show. That was, 101 in the community. At least shout out Hofstra University. Hello, I went to Hofstra. We had an amazing Dempster Hall. Shout out Dempster Hall too. We had an amazing communication program where, you learned radio, you learned TV, you learned film, you learned producing. I worked on a show called TNL, which was our version of SNL, but it was called Thursday Night Live. And we had an all access channel called the Hofstra Network. And so we literally had live bands come on. I was kind of like the Keening of the fucking show. But it was fun. I got to act. I was on front of camera, but I also learned how to write script.
That's great. That's awesome.
So that transition, because we had a lot of people from Hofstra. We have a lot of people in Hofstra in general that works in the entertainment industry. So the transition from like a TNL to then go work for SNL, you know that already because you do it on, our show was called Thursday Night Live. There's a Saturday Night Live. It was corny, but it was fun. But you needed that experience in college to know how to produce. And we learned that where, we hire someone who don't necessarily study TV and film stuff. And then they want to kind of come and shoot things. And then we learn like, why does this look like this? Or why does like...
You need certain technical skills. Technical skills, yeah. Absolutely. And do you think it should be free though? I think
college should be free.
All right.
You don't think college should be free?
I don't think so. I think, all right, here's what I think. I think high school should be free.
Y'all got free healthcare in China?
No, we don't. We do not. I think
y'all got paid for kids in China though.
Up until, no.
Michael, I had 2 kids. That's $1,500.
Well, right now it's fine. Right now they don't have that policy anymore. Yeah, right now
next
I think
week.
It's a little easier. But yeah, no, bro, I think to high school, all the way to high school, if it's free and all that, I completely agree. But to college, I think there is a level of separation. People who didn't study, didn't put in the work, if they didn't, have a certain criteria, they may not want to go to college. They may want to branch into doing something else. We call them society university, right? We learn from
street
from
smarts.
The street. Yeah. But I'm saying that
a lot of that. I feel like.
But I'm saying that for those people who did want to go that route, I do think there's only limited resources. There's only so much resource, for campus. You can only hire so much professor. So that's why I think, for higher education, it is what it is.
I'm gonna disagree with you here.
It is what it is.
Michael, I'm gonna disagree with you.
Right,
reason being, I believe college should be free, and I think college should be accessible to everyone.
I believe in
everyone, right? No, listen to me. Let me listen. Reason being. Success is merit by being an individual, right? I can't say the word right now. I've been drinking too much coffee, but as an individual way of being successful in your own right? So I think everyone deserves a chance to be able to be successful in their own right, whether that's being a doctor, lawyer, musician, whatever you want to be, and to have that education factor. It's up to you to finish school. It's up to you to graduate high school, not anyone else. And so I think when you are giving someone a chance to be the best, if they unfortunately fail at one to be the best, that comes on them. They can't. Everyone likes to point the finger at, oh, you didn't help me. No, it starts with here. It's like, it's always that saying, you can't take a horse to the water and make him drink. You can give him a bucket, You can either drink the water or you don't drink the water.
The problem is that, you know, the campus only has the capacity of, let's say, 10,000
That's
people.
why we got government. That's why we got state aid. No different from if you go into a state school, you get state funding. You go to there's a difference between state schools and private schools. So Hofstra I went to was a private school.
Sure.
So I had football scholarship and I got federal loans and all stuff. Yeah, state schools mostly, if you go to school in state, are, I would say, free.
Funding,
you get more money, so you pretty much don't pay shit.
Fair enough.
But what I'm saying, across the board, like Harvard, I think everybody should be able to go to Harvard. I just think so.
I disagree with that.
I don't believe testing merits someone's,
you know, for example, like
some people are not good test takers.
It's not that, you know, if somebody who did not put in the work, and if everybody can go to Harvard, then it really demotivates people. You know, for example, somebody who puts in the work 8-10 hours a day, you know, try to
that's individually
study,
though. That's an individual
somebody
thing.
else who's just going out partying all day, all night, and then you tell me those two people can both go to Harvard and both are going there for free?
Mike, C-Dub, that happens. C-Dub, you went to school? You went to college?
I went to school, yep.
Where'd you go?
I went to Tulane in New Orleans.
Yes, Tulane. My sister live in New Orleans. What you just said, and C-Dub, you know, let chime in. They do that now. You got people in school now that put in the work, and you got your roommate who might be like, I'm going to party all night, and they end up failing out. So what I'm saying, we're saying the same exact thing, but that happens now. So what's the difference of giving everyone a chance to do it? If they just choose to party and don't go to class and fell out and waste their fucking time, that's what they're going to do.
What I'm saying is that before college, they already can make that decision. You don't have to wait to college and see people, whether or not people will work things out.
People graduate from high school and get to college and go, this shit ain't for me.
And then that's fine. That, you know, if you go that route and then you don't like it, then that's fine. All I'm saying is that, you know, in high school, you're pretty much 16, 17. Right? If you put in a lot of work, you should get better result than other people.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, that's
well, you know,
that's why
we're across the world internationally. We're all prone to say you got to graduate high school. You got to get that bullshit education about Christopher Columbus, lies. You know, all that shit they tell us that we got to learn that's bullshit. They make us do that. And then okay, now you got to go to college. That's a societal thing that we have to go through. But what I'm saying is, even if we have people that don't necessarily think high school for them, they go and get their GED. So what I'm saying is everyone should get the chance, a chance to become successful in their own right. If you choose not to put the work in, like you said, do the work. Yeah. If you choose not to do that, that's on you. Because if it was easy, everyone would be a millionaire. Everyone would be successful with something, you know?
If they don't put the work, they don't go into the best school. That's what I believe. If you put in the work, then you deserve the best. That's all it is. You know, that's all it is. Because on the best resources, remember, there's only so many.
It's an ego thing. Me going to Hofstra, C-Dub going to Tulane, you going to UCLA. It's really an ego thing. It's no difference in education from him going to Tulane, you going to UCLA, or me going to Hofstra. It's two things. It's a population. That school just make more money and more students, or it's a state funded thing and it makes it a bigger school. That's why it's like
you know
D1,
what the difference is?
Listen, that's why it's like when it comes to football or basketball, there's like
D1,
D2, D3, whatever, right? And it's not really based, to be honest, it's not really based on your skills that you play at D1. No, it's based on the school's population. That's what makes them D1. That's what it's really based on. That's like D1 AA or D1
Do you believe
schools?
in that D1 school player, if they play against those D2 school, they will win?
No.
They would.
This happened March Madness. How many? There were so many mid-major schools
out of 100 games.
Yes,
out of 100 games.
There are players. There are players at the mid-major level. Which, when I say mid-majors mean UMass, University of Delaware, Hofstra's a mid-major as well. That could have went to a bigger school. It came down to notoriety. It came down to politics. Yeah. But there are players on these levels that also are just as good to play D1.
I believe that.
I
believe in that.
It just comes to the population of schools during March Madness. And there are schools that which I love. There were so many mid-major schools during this year of March Madness that fucking dominated. Drexel. You know, they dominated these major schools. Duke wasn't even in it. Duke lost to a team that wasn't considered a high major school.
Yeah, no, it's just
your boy
Duke,
Curry Davison.
I know. Yeah. I'm just saying that, if you're a popular school, you're able to attract more talent.
Of course.
Right? A better talent. Of course. Yeah, right. And those talent over there, they make the school look good.
Right.
That's for Harvard. That's for schools like, Berkeley. Right. That's what it is, because they're able to attract the best talent.
Of course.
And then it's not only the faculty and the professor and all that stuff. It's the students in there. They attract the best student, and thus they're the best.
And then you
schools.
got good-looking girls. The campus look good. The first thing you go to school, at least when I was visiting school, it's like, yo, how do people look? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Is it parties?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't be like,
listen,
what books are we reading this week?
Yeah, like, you don't care about professor.
Is it lit hair or what? Like, I'm trying to get about the house. You know?
I got you.
You know what I mean?
I just think shit is too expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
no.
You talk about.
Here's what I think. I think I believe in that college education isn't necessary. I think I agree with you on that. It's not necessary, but for some people it's valuable.
Now, you don't need college education to be a cop. I definitely think nowadays you definitely need to go to a behavioral class to be a cop, because that shit is out of hand. But
yeah, no, you don't need college isn't necessary. But I also think like private school, they should charge. That's what I believe. We may disagree on
we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's fine.
But UCLA, is that a private school or a state school?
No, it's a state school. But I pay. Oh God. I don't even want to say the number. But
it was like, Mike, it's $70,000. Mike was like, yen?
It's motherfucking. I really hope it's $70,000.
No, I mean, Hofstra, when I went there, Hofstra was, I think, 35 a year when I went there. Ooh. So I was a freshman in 2003. Yeah. I think now Hofstra's probably close to 50 or 60. Oh, and 35.5 was a lot. You know, I was on partial scholarship. I had grants. I played football and stuff like that. But it was expensive. So I'm lucky I don't got no private loan, because Sally Mae do not know me. Okay, because that bitch is crazy. And as we talking about millennials and stuff, like, what do you think is some of the biggest misconceptions with millennials, or even younger millennials, when it comes to like life and business? Like, what do you think is like the biggest misconceptions that happen?
A lot of old heads, people like you. A lot of people in my parents' generation, they say young millennials are lazy. I think that's the biggest misconception. They always see, they're on the phone all the time. They didn't do shit. They didn't put in the work. Not like us, hardworking. We just grind through everything. And I just think it's very different. It's a different day and age. That's the biggest misconception. I do think millennial people right now, they have a different ways of doing things. Yeah. They have internet. They have social media.
Yeah. So much more afforded to them.
Yeah, they don't need to grind like that.
Yeah. That's true. I think that's the biggest misconception. I'm in between, because I'm in the era where we still know what dial-up is. We still had landlines, but we also. But in my age bracket, we saw the transitional period of going from landline to Wi-Fi, going from the first cell phone, from pagers to cell phones. Yeah. So I know within my group, we're the most transitional group, because we was in that middle. For sure. I think the biggest misconception is the laziness. I agree. That I think they feel like a lot of millennials or younger are more lazy, but they're in a generational where you have, even like my colleague, his daughter, you saw yesterday, she's 1 year old. She grabbed the cell phone. She's swiping the cell phone. Like, I could not imagine.
God, it was impossible in our generation.
Yeah, to do that. So I think, and also there's so many different ways that, it's a way to make money now, where you got Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, but also I think the misconceptions to me, I would say misconception, but one of the things I think really burns my briskets is that the younger generation of millennials or zillennials, they want to run before they crawl. They want everything to happen as fast as possible, and they don't want to put the time in to learn, to be a sponge, and be able to then take what they learn and assess it or use it for what they want. Like, even when it comes to intern, it's like,
I like it.
I can't. I'm not interning for free. What? It's like, I interned for free for 40 years. That afforded me my job. I was at one of the top places in the entertainment industry to work for a producer like that, and I had to put the work in. And I think a lot of the younger generations don't want to really put that work in. They look for fast turnover, fast rates, whereas more so like one of the things I learned when I was coming up was I used to be like fast, make a move. Instead of just like shutting my ass up, listening first, absorbing what I listen, and then taking what I listen and then apply it. So it took some time for me when I got a job to really, shout out to Jeff Robinson, who actually taught me that, where I remember he was sitting in a boardroom with him and he was just like, Sean, you're great. You're great. He said, but you move so quick. Yeah. And sometimes you have to take a step back and listen, learn, absorb, figure it out in your head before you make a move. And they also taught me, if you don't know it, it is okay to say you don't fucking know. Yeah. Because oftentimes the people have that figure till you make it thing. And that can work in some scenarios, and in some scenarios that would not work for you. Yeah. And you oftentimes come off as being more ignorant. Very.
And that's I think that's the social media becomes an echo chamber. People are, just looking at that, and then the opinion got influenced so heavily, and they see, oh, you know what, how come they're younger and they're doing all these things, driving fancy cars and all that. I want to, if I don't have it, then at least I fake it till I make it. And that's so easy to for people to do that right now. So I think that's a downside, and that is a misconception. I would completely agree
I think it's all about on that. Doing the work, wanting to do the work, but also listening. Oftentimes they just don't listen. They have so many. The younger generation has so many opinions. And I think the opinions are warranted. But I also think sometimes you can have your opinions, but you also have to learn how to listen. And that's the whole thing. Like if we talk about like the PC culture, it's so much of the PC culture that as soon as you say something, they take it out of context. Reason being, they're not fucking listening. Yeah. Like, no, we're not, a situation that happened after. They start talking about pronouns and I was like, what? That's not what I'm saying. Because they wasn't listening. And that's the problem where people take things out of context because they're either not listening or they're just not reading. And that's the whole thing of like slowing down. It's almost like smell your food, chew it, and then swallow.
With that said, do you have like an inspiration, a figure that that you look up to, that somebody who inspire you to?
Definitely Charles King. Charles King, he is a CEO. He betted on himself. He started a company called Macro. And Macro is pretty much a black-owned studio. And they produce movies like Sorry to Bother You, Mudbound, which was an Oscar-nominated movie. They do shows like Raising Dion on Netflix. They did, which is up for an Oscar, Judas and the Black Messiah. And so Charles' story is, he went to Howard Law School, was a lawyer, wanted to get more into entertainment. He pretty much road tripped across the country to get a job paying him like $8,000 an hour with a law degree, which was at a place called WME, which is one of the top premier, agencies. And he worked in the mailroom there and rose to be, coordinator, assistant. And he ended up becoming the agency's first black partner out of his 100 years of being in existence. He became his black partner. Wow. And he represented Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, all the top tier clients to the point where he then transitioned to create Macro. And what he did with Macro, he started Macro and with his own money. Him and his wife was paying salaries out of their own savings or whatever to build it. And Macro's been around, I think, now 5 years. And they have done so much things. So to see him as a black agent, which is the business I was in, and working at a competitor. So when he was at WME, I went to ICM, I was in another conglomerate, but just to kind of, for me to see someone that I was working towards it be like, to see him pivot and become this producer and this studio guy, it's inspiration to me, because it's not many people that look like me that have done that at that level.
That's why, I love these type of stories though. I think people, they focus on the races a lot recently, especially in this environment. I do believe in in hard work, in making smart move, being
strategic.
Very strategic, and put in the work, have the right connection, and actually come on top. I love that story, especially minorities, people like that, and going off of that, I just want to say that I personally believe in this environment that we are in right now. I think we are having the same opportunity. Right. I don't care about if you're black, you're Asian, you're Mexican. You work hard, you make the right moves, you're going to come on top. This is the society we live in, you know.
Well, one would love to think that way, right? And this is me being devil's advocate when we talk about systematic racism, where we want everyone to be afforded those opportunities. And, you know, this is just not a black thing. You know, it's anything black and brown, right? And you want people to be afforded. If you work hard to do that, you want to be on top. But oftentimes, because of systematic racism, that's not always the case. And, you know, where you have someone that could be a black or brown in that community in, say, a corporate conglomerate, they oftentimes have to work harder than their white counterpart because
I believe in that.
People are, and it comes down to necessarily not them maybe being racist to label that, but it's more about the fear of losing their control. You know what I'm saying? And the fear of like, oh, this person could be better than me. But also because it's also this person is of another race. And, you know.
At the same time, you know, you can give me 10 examples of situations like that, right? Black people have to work extra hard. Asian people or Mexican people have to work extra hard compared to their white countertop in order to get on top. But at the same time, I can also give you 11 stories that where a black or Asian or some minority right now, they're not 100% qualified and they still come on top, you know, compared to their white counterpart. Maybe in
the corporate America?
Well, I would even say right now
in corporate America, that's not as
this
qualified?
in this day and age.
No. I disagree.
There definitely will be our stuff
in corporate
like
America. You said if there's a white counterpart and a black counterpart, and a black counterpart is not as qualified. You saying that black or brown person, it will still come? No,
I'm saying that there will be examples like that. You know,
no, there's none.
There's
zero.
Absolutely
no. Finito.
When we talked about this, you have to agree that well, you actually said that last time yourself that sometimes we care about diversity too much. That we sacrifice.
That's
the
more
quality.
The quality over there.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that, instance, like I'm not going to hire this director because I'm not going to hire this director whether they're white or whatever
because he's white, you know. I want some minority.
They want a minority director. And we all know the majority of the minority directors that are qualified are maybe booked up, right? Then yes, that is a situation where don't patronize us to put us on a project that we know, or force us to put a black and brown person on a project may not be as qualified over the other one. But my compromise suggestion is let's still bring on that black and brown person because you want that person that's qualified, or maybe just not and hire that qualified person. But then let's maybe say let's put him as let's pay them as a shadow. Let's have them come under this director because say for a series, let's have them direct the next one. Let's make sure that we're still bringing on someone that's that maybe just not as qualified yet, but it's diverse that can learn from someone. So in our next one, we don't have a problem hiring this diverse director because we see that the experience we put in with someone experienced. But I don't want to sacrifice creativity because we're talking about a race thing. We understand, you know what I mean?
I'm saying that both extreme happens. Like what you said happened, what I said also happened as well. Well, what I'm trying to get at is because I learned this from Kanye West. You know, he said one
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
Yeah, he said one day, if we take black out of the title, then we really eliminate racism.
That's the worst person. I feel offended, Mike. Well, Kanye West, the one that said slavery was a fucking choice.
No, go. Hold on. Just focus on this, okay? Don't take this out of context, okay? Just for the sake
of... ain't got in his cup.
But, bro, for real though, like if we take black out of the title, you know, the first black CEO, the first black billionaire, the first black business to do X, if we just say if that business did X, that is a billionaire.
No.
We take that off. Then when you put that on there, it just reinforces that, all right, you know what, we're a minority. We're actually being discriminated against. You are feeding into the narrative. You're feeding energy into that narrative.
I don't think so.
And that's...
Listen, the black community has been subdued and placed underground for many years. And our ideas, things that we have created or done has been stolen for many a year. So when you put that tone or that concentration of black this, black that, it's setting a precedent that this was created by a black person because we have lost ownership. The ideas have been stolen from us for years. So it's not about us saying this is a black thing because we want to say a black thing. We are branding ourselves to let you know, like, we are minorities. We're just as smart. We're just as strong. We built this fucking country, and you need to recognize that. That's the reason for the slave movies we watch. Yes, I hate watching slave movies, but the reason for those movies in history is to remind these motherfuckers what you did. That's what the reason for those movies are. So it's not about us just putting black. Black is beautiful. Everyone steals from.
I believe in that.
Listen, cultural appropriation is a fucking thing. And you know it. You know, I can name a couple things, but that's the reason for us celebrating our culture. We are innovatives. We are innovators. Excuse me. You know, so it's not a. Kanye is a. Listen, let me tell you something. I would never listen to anything he has to say because he turned out his back on his community. We were there for him when that jaw was fucking shut up and all that. And then he switched on us with all that fucking bullshit. So anything he has to say when it comes to the black community is a wash.
You don't believe in that, you know, if we put black, you know, the first black female to do X, we're actually taking power away from black people.
No. When you put,
I believe
when you put, this is the first black, like for in the political, this is the first black vice president. This is the first black female to run the treasury. That is what it does, is show that the United States is moving forward. The simple fact that we're in 2021 and we just having our first minority person in that office should say something. That should say something. So it's really not about when we say, it doesn't do us a disservice. It actually uplifts culture. Just like if we have a Buttigieg, who's, you know, it wasn't Buttigieg. Well, even Buttigieg, he was LGBTQ, right? If he got in office, that would be considered the first LGBTQ person in office. Or Asian.
All I'm saying is that these things should be normal.
It should be normal.
It should be normal. Exactly. It should be. I'm saying that in the next 10 years, there's so many black people or Asian people, or whoever, right, who are in very important position, doing great things. We're already think it's like for sure, I can understand that. We don't say that anymore. We're like the first black who do X. Well, we normalize this. I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. If it's so normalized, we don't need to say the first anymore. Which is where we will want to go. That's what we want to. We don't need to say like
we need to
go there. This is the first black. They say, oh, this is whatever, and they still happen to be black, Asian, Mexican, whatever. Like that's what we
should
need.
Go there.
That's the whole point of the United States. We want to say United States is a mixing pot of a lot of stuff. So we need to kind of say, and we want to normalize that whether you gay, straight, black, white, whatever, it's we are brothers and sisters. We all. If I cut C-Dub, I cut you.
United States.
We gonna bleed red.
Right.
Mike might bleed. You know. I don't know what you might bleed.
What?
I said fuck with them, but we all gonna bleed the same thing. And the funny thing, we all deal with the same bullshit, marital problems. You know, even when you go international, they deal the same thing we deal with here. It's just we just from two different cultures.
For sure, if we just focus on the difference, our difference, then it creates a lot of conflict.
You know? I think it's step one, step two. Step one, let's celebrate people who are doing new things, breaking barriers, and then hopefully after enough time, nobody's in boxes anymore.
No, that's
I don't like
for sure.
For example, a certain agency, when it came to trying to elevate or amplify writers, right? They want to create this thing of like, oh, we want to create this amplify writers where anybody that's black, brown, indigenous, or whatever, we're going to put you in this one program. And so anytime they need a black writer or indigenous writer, and then we go to this little box.
People in a box.
That's a box. And they don't know how racist that fucking comes off. Why do we got to create a fucking box for Asian writers, indigenous writers, black and brown people? Like, why do we need to create a box? No. We want to represent you because you have a voice. We want to represent you because you have a POV, and that we don't see shows that represent you enough. We need to see more shows that represent the world we live in. That's the important part about moving forward.
It goes back to recently this Asian hate thing. You know, it's really, you know, I would say that. I mean, as an Asian, I do feel like
you Asian. But you Mexican.
Are you? Fuck you. But yeah, no, this is a really different day and age. You know,
I mean, the hate against Asians and the Black Lives Matter. I mean, there's been so much things that talk about, you know, there's a lot of people you see that's always trying to divide us. But we also it's funny thing, we're fighting for the same thing, equality. We're fighting for the safety of our culture, our people living in the United States. Anyone from your culture should not be attacked in the streets or something that's said derogatory. Same thing with someone that's either Mexican, what we're going to say Black Lives Matter, with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, say her name. Like, that stuff should not happen. Like, recently in the news, a lieutenant got pulled over for a traffic stop in the gas station. He had his hands out the window, and the cop was so aggressive with him. And he goes, "Get out the car," yelling at him. He's like, I'm pulling you over for a traffic violation. And he's like, "Well, what was the traffic violation? Why are you pulling me for a traffic violation?" And he screamed, he opened up the door, "Get out the car." He had a full U.S. Army. He was active duty military, black guy. He took and maced him so bad. Maced him. He said, "What are you, a corporal?" He said, "I'm a lieutenant." Yeah. And dragged him on the ground. And it was just horrible. I mean, this happened to me last week.
You see people in the same thing, in my community, right? People, just a 70-year-old lady walking down the street, just try to grab some.
But didn't she beat that dude ass though?
Yeah, and this motherfucking no, bro. Like, I'm telling you, this is horrible. Yeah, no, it's bad. Then just push people and punch people with
or say something derogatory.
Not only that, bro, this is completely nonsense. They're just walking down the street and this guy motherfucking just punched her in the face
for no reason.
For no fucking reason. Do you think that's a good thing or it's horrible?
It's horrible.
It is horrible.
And it doesn't matter if you're black or white or whatever. You should not want to harm another race. Just in general, we want to live in a world that's peace and harmony. We know that's not the case.
It's not the.
But
what I'm trying to get at is that I actually don't like the Stop Asian Hate as a narrative. Why? Because I'm all about feeding energy into a certain thing. When you feed energy into hate, when you're talking about, hate all the time, because Stop Asian Hate, you still think Asian hate. Right. They actually, for press, you're impressed, you know marketing. This thing actually plays in people's mind and it actually elevates people. Yeah. After people coming up with those slogan, you know what? Those violent incidents that I just described to you happen fucking more. Yeah. Because of these, I don't like the slogan because you are feeding hate, energy into hate. I mean, why don't we say
you want
like
Asian Lives Matter?
Yeah, Asian Lives Matter. But I think
or also
spread
the
Asian
community.
Love
I know most people say,
like,
why doesn't Black Lives Matter come to the aid of Asian hate? Which I think we are, but I think
I just don't
Black
like
Lives Matter. We have, just like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, we have leaders that's stepping up. And I know I feel like the Asian code definitely need that leader. We do, and I think. Once you have that leader, we're going to follow suit. Just like BLM. One thing about BLM during this pandemic, when I went to protest on 3rd Street, there were, tons of people that was there of all cultures and everything. So it was something that was like magnificent to see just everybody and everywhere supporting. So for the Asian hate, I feel like having that leader so we can also follow suit and also we can be,
we do need a leader,
something that makes sense that it can come together. But we can talk about this all day, but I feel like, stay tuned to more episodes. I think, we run out of time here, but super excited to kind of talk more. And, I think, on the next episode, we're going to have even more fun, but follow us on Asian Soul Food Podcast on Instagram.
This is a good episode.
It was a good episode. Slap Mike a little. But no, we good. We good.
Did that.
But yeah, so stay tuned to more. And we out. Holla. My man Mike Beasy. Later.